lovelies. Welcome back, my spookies, and welcome to or welcome back to my channel, depending on whichever way it goes. My name is Amber, and I am the creator of this channel, and I am a practicing witch. So what am I doing? Well, we've started off this series of the celebrations and how you can celebrate it, whether you are an open witch or you are a closeted witch. And I'm basically going over all the celebrations and how you can celebrate them and what is associated with them. So without further ado, today's celebration is Beltane, and we're going to be covering start with that. So Beltane takes place from August 31st to May 1st every year. And basically it is known as the Festival of Unity. And what that means is it is the unification of male and female usually, but obviously nowadays we know more. It's just unity in general, and that doesn't have to be in a romantic way. Unity is unity. You can unite a family, you can unite a couple, you can unite a person and their animals, okay? So that is what the energy of Beltane is about, is just unity, being together, celebrating together as one, okay? So let's cover the pocket altar. I'm just going to bring it into frame here. So this is the pocket altar that I created. Obviously, you can create whatever you want, but this is what I did. So there were Beltane poles that were created, and there is still one. I can't remember where it's at. I think it's in the Dutch Isles? Maybe. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, there are Beltane poles that still go up in certain places to this day to celebrate. They usually have ribbons, like these, and what would happen is the people take one ribbon each, and then they dance around the pole. And it twists it around the pole and makes it into like a braided sort of look, okay? At the top I've got a butterfly. At the bottom I've got some flowers and some acorns. I'm going to try to get that into frame so you guys can see. It's got some acorns and some flowers. The top is an acorn in a nest and a butterfly. All that are representations of Beltane. I also usually put these on the altar, so these are some more of the acorns, right? They're fake, of course, but, you know, they're a great representation, I feel. And they usually go, and this is the bottom of my Beltane. So it's like a flower crown, and it is supposed to be a flower crown, so I'll wear it. I'll wear it for this video. So there we go. So I've got my flower crown on, because again, flower crowns were sometimes made and used during Beltane. So let's cover symbols, because I was kind of going over them there, so let's give them a try. I'll put this in front of me so that you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't take over. Okay, so again, I'm going to look at my phone and just give you guys the cliff notes, and then we'll talk about it, okay? So, for animals associated with Beltane, you have bees. You have bees, cats, cattle, doves, frogs, goats, leopards, lynx, rabbits, swallows, and swans. These animals are all representations of Beltane because they represent that unity. Most of the time, so what I mean by that is when you look at a lot of these animals, a lot of them they either, like swans will mate for life. Cattle are very loyal to their offspring usually. I mean, obviously you have certain circumstances, but we're not here to talk about that. For the most part though, cows care very much for their young and for each other. The herd is usually very connected to each other. But like even like cats cats can be very affectionate to their people, to the humans that they love. You have bees. Bees are also very, when they mate, they are actually very loving creatures, which is incredible for an insect, I mean, right? So all these animals kind of represent that unity that I was talking about before. So yeah. So let's go over, so next up would be crystals and herbs. We'll go over both. And trees. So let's do, your crystals are beryl, emerald, garnet, I'm so terrible at saying this next one, I'm so sorry. It's malachite. Now, believe it or not, I have such a hard time saying that one. I don't know why. I have no clue why. I always am like, malachite, and I don't know why. I have no clue. I don't know where the N comes from. I have no clue. It's malachite. The thing is, I know what it is. I know exactly how you're supposed to say it, but it never comes out that way, especially the first time around. Anyway, malachite, rose quartz, and tourmaline. Okay? Then we have your herbs, which are thistle, broom, coriander, jasmine, rose, vanilla, dandelion, fern, peach, fireweed. I am so sorry. Again, I gotta change the font. Nettle, primrose, rue, tulips, and violets. And then, of course, you have your trees, which are alder, asp, birch. That's another one I know how to say, but it always comes out wrong the first time. Asp, birch, I have a smudge on my skull. There we go. Bawthorn, basil, holly, oak, rowan, and willow. I am so sorry, guys. I had a smudge on my screen. I could not make out some of those names. But yeah, so those are your basics in terms of herbs, crystals, and trees. I'm kind of running through this a little bit faster this time around because I have I have a couple other videos now that you can go and check out that are the different celebrations. I have two others. I have one on Imbolc and I have one on Ostara. So please go check those out because they give a lot more of the basic information. This is more, I'm just trying to touch on Beltane. That's what I'm trying to touch on. So some of the basic stuff I'm just kind of running through, such as the herbs and stuff, because you guys know what to do with those if you've watched the other videos. So now let's go into talking about the actual celebration of Beltane. So some of the stuff, unfortunately, we can't really do nowadays because the poles that I was talking about, the Beltane poles that they put up, right? They're huge, they're gigantic, and really, as a singular witch celebrating, it's really hard to put up that. Now, if you do have that means, and you can put up a Beltane pole, using, you know, if you can maybe make it out of a tree or something, you know, congrats to you, and that's wonderful, then do that. But for the average witch, especially if you live in the city, it can be a little difficult to do something like that. So, how do you celebrate then if you can't do the thing with the Beltane pole? Well, there's a lot more you can do. So similar to Imbolc, you can light a fire in like a fire pit outside, or you can light a fire inside your home in a fireplace. Please do not light a fire on the floor. I realize how that sounded after I said it. Please do not light a fire in your home just randomly. Make sure it's in a fireplace. If you don't have that, then again, we come back to the candle. So in addition to doing this, I then also put the flower crown. First it'll be on my altar, then I wear it on the actual night of Beltane, is how I celebrate, okay? and I light a purple candle. So again, the previous videos I spoke about how I usually use white candles. For Beltane, it's one of those exceptions where I do not use a white candle, I use a purple candle, and I light it. And that's how I celebrate. I also celebrate the union by bringing my immediate family that I live with together over a meal. So we eat together and we drink and we have a good time. Again, as I've mentioned before, any of these celebrations can be simply celebrated with a meal and a drink, because that is, in a way, a purpose. However, what I didn't touch on was if you do want to broaden it a little bit. So say you are a witch who usually lives alone, you don't really have anybody to celebrate with, then what you should do, if you do want to kind of get a little more festive, per se, what you can do is go out and maybe volunteer somewhere, or you could offer up some help in a different way elsewhere. This is all things you can do to celebrate in your own way that keeps to the spirit of these celebrations. So I would highly suggest that you do something like that. That's my... But anyway, if you are just practicing, like I said, you can light a fire. You can light a fire out in a fire pit, or you can light a fire in a fireplace in your home and then celebrate that way. You can bring, like with me, I bring my family together over a meal and celebrate the unity that we have. Also, because cats are a big part of Beltane, if you have cats, spoil them. That would be my suggestion. Get them something really nice from the pet store. Get them a really nice meal from the pet store. You know, or you can make them a really nice meal if that's what you want to do. Like, these are all things that you can do to then thus celebrate Beltane if all you have are your pets, right, and things like that. And to celebrate the actual holiday, because cats are a big deal, celebrating and spoiling your cats would be a great way to thus celebrate that in turn. Other than that, I also wanted to say that another thing you could do to celebrate these things that I didn't touch on in previous videos was you can celebrate by going out into nature. Nature is a big part of all of these, which I have covered in a previous video. Nature is a big part of all of these celebrations. So if you really want to celebrate alone and you're okay with that, you can go out into nature. Go take a quick little fresh hike, right? Go out, gather some fallen tree branch limbs, gather some materials for spells. These are all things that you can do that maybe you don't do every day. You know what I mean? And thus that makes it special for the celebration. So these are always, there's always some way that you can celebrate without being too, again, grandiose with it. Because you don't have to be this big rah-rah, right? It doesn't have to be that. It can just be simple. And sometimes simple is best. But in the end, it's up to you. This is something I preach a lot, okay? Is that it's up to you what you want to do for these celebrations, for anything that you practice in witchcraft. Just remember that you are the source. Our souls are little batteries, and that's what fuels the magic, okay? What we call magic, that's what this is. It's the energy from your very soul that fuels it. So coming from, as long as it's something that comes from you, that you want to celebrate as, like, if you look at it and you go, that feels right, then that's right, okay? That's the idea, is that you want it to feel right from your actual soul. Okay? I apologize, my voice seems to be going. I hope I don't sound too gravelly. I don't know why. I don't know why my voice sounds like it's going. It's been a little dry here, so that could be it. Anyway, I hope that my information was good, once again. I hope that you got what you needed out of this video. If you're beginning to practice, welcome to the craft, and I hope I've helped you a little bit. Again, I tend to touch on topics that maybe are a little taboo. The celebrations, not so much. This series is quite probably mainstream, quite normal. But I have touched on a couple things previous. I do have a video on Ouija board etiquette. So if you want to go check that out, I would be greatly appreciative of that. Please go check out my video. Go check out all my videos, please. But, yeah, so I touch on the Ouija board etiquette in a video. I might talk in another video in the future about, perhaps after this series, about, my beliefs on pendulums and why I don't really believe in them, but I do. So I have ways, pendulum, as I may cover, but we'll just put it this way, very short and quick. The pendulum, I believe, is a little bit like the Ouija board, where I believe the less human contact you have, the better it is. Okay? And I may touch on that in the future. If you guys would like to see that, of course, leave a comment if you're interested in that. I might do a video on tarot, how to do tarot a little bit. I'm not really an expert in tarot. I do use it, but I'm not an expert in it. It's not like my go-to, but I can do it, and I could do a video on that if you guys would like to see that. So, you know, leave comments, leave a like, and I'll see you all next time, I guess, at this point. This video is really short. It just feels so much shorter than the other ones. Anyway, I will just let you guys go then. New video will be dropping probably next week. I hope you all have a great Samhain, because that is coming up, of course. It's October. So, hope you guys enjoy that. Happy Samhain, and stay spooky.